friends, welcome to my channel. I am Thenaiyapatel and you are with me on the Mom Edition. Today we are going to talk about a very important topic, that is breastfeeding. As a mother, it's always a constant worry whether our little one is getting enough breast milk or not. Breast is not a bottle, so we cannot really measure how many ounces of milk the baby drank, especially as a first-time mom, as we don't know how the breastfeeding mechanisms work. So we might worry whether our baby is eating well. Our family and friends might link every cry session to the baby being hungry, but that is not true. A baby cries for many reasons other than being hungry, and I will link that video up here once I make it in the future. But you have to understand that baby is not always hungry and he or she might be crying for reasons other than that. And if you feed every time the baby is hungry, it might lead to overfeeding, which will make things worse. So it's important to understand the signs and ways that let us know if the baby is getting enough breast milk or not. So let's get into that. The best sign to let us know that baby is eating well is weight gain. Some babies lose about 10% of their birth weight in first week, however then consistently gain. So if your baby is gaining weight according to the set standards and recommendation, you can completely relax, because it means the baby is eating well and you have enough breast milk to feed your little one. Second sign that tells you is wet nappies. If your baby has about 7 to 8 wet nappies, that means he's getting enough breast milk, which is getting converted into pee, so he is fine. So as many parents choose to use diapers instead of cotton nappies, how do you see how many pees has the baby done? So if there are 3 to 4 soaking wet diapers in 24 hours, it means the baby is having enough milk and you can relax. Next sign is monitoring baby's bowel movements. Babies in the first 6 weeks tend to have yellow, pasty, liquidy, runny bowel. So if the baby goes 3 to 4 times in a day, that means the breast milk is enough and there is no need to worry. I have a video that talks all about baby stools and I will link up over here. So please make sure that you see that and inform yourself about when the baby's poop is concerning and when it's alright. So the next way of knowing if your baby is getting enough breast milk is if he or she latches well and the latch is not painful. So if the baby is having that sucking motion and you're feeling a regulated suck, that means there is milk coming in and the baby is eating well. So along the lines come the swallowing sound. So you can literally hear and see the baby swallow. So if something is being swallowed, that means your breast is producing enough milk and your baby is eating well. And finally, if at the end of the session, your baby is feeling content and satisfied, that means he or she ate well. Another way to know if your baby is fed well is that if he or she moves away from your breast after having a satisfied feed. Even if you try to give them and if you try to latch the baby refuses to do so because he is not hungry anymore. So just look for these signs, for these ways, and you will get an idea about if you are producing enough breast milk and if your baby is eating well. Another way to know is if your baby gets distracted easily. It's logical, right? If the baby is not very hungry and is already full, and if you try to interact with the baby, it gets distracted very easily. Next up is that your breasts tend to feel a little bit softer and less heavy than they were before the baby started feeding. Although initially that might not be the case for first couple of weeks because baby doesn't drink that much. So if you are hyperlactative and you have lots of breast milk, a little quantity removed from it might not make your breast less full. However, post that, you can literally see the difference that your breast becomes softer and less engorged once your baby has a good feed. So that is one sign letting you know that you are producing good amount and baby is eating well. Next, how we can know is the baby has wet burps, and there are the drools of your milk coming out of baby's mouth. That means the baby is satisfied and had a good feed. So we have to understand that every baby is different and every mother is different. You can't really compare your breastfeeding experience with somebody else's breastfeeding experience. Well, one mother can be disposed to hyperlactation, where she produces more milk than a baby can consume. However, her baby might be the one who wants to feed numerous times during the day. So even that woman might wonder if she has enough breast milk. Versus, we can compare that to another woman who has a lower milk supply. However, the baby is lethargic and sleeps long durations, does not feed on intervals. So a mother might be confused whether the baby is sleeping because he is getting enough or he's sleeping because he's not getting enough. Well, all these situations are very confusing, and these combinations of different babies and different mother make it very difficult to set a standard about breastfeeding. So try and analyze different behaviors of baby and educate yourself about your baby's particular needs. So let me wrap this video up by consoling you that although we worry whether our baby is getting enough breast milk or not, but most likely the chances are that he or she is. Our bodies are made to be able to feed our little one. If you have less breast milk, you can always get help. I will link a video up here to discuss some ways in which you can boost your milk supply, and just be positive that your milk is going to come, although it might take a few more hours, but be positive and that works miracles. I would also like to mention that I am not a doctor. This information is just from all the research that I have done as a mother in my initial days with my baby. So if you have any lingering concerns, it is best to consult a lactation consultant, and he will be able to help you out. So if you like this video, give a thumbs up and see you next time. Bye-bye.